All right, we are live, and I will call the Tuesday, December 9th Emergency Advisory Committee to order. We'll start with the adoption of the agenda. Councillor Andawa, would you like to do that?
Sure. I move that we adopt the agenda as distributed.
Thank you very much. Any concerns? Not seeing any. I'll close the motion. Please cast your vote. That is carried. Looking for a motion to approve the minutes of the November 26, 2024 Emergency Advisory Committee meeting. Councillor Ketcher.
So I'll move that we approve the Emergency Advisory Committee minutes of November 26, 2024 as presented. Printed and circulated.
Thank you very much. Is there any questions or comments? Not seeing any. I'll close the motion. Please cast your vote. Thank you very much. That is carried. All right, the 2025 report to the EAC. Fire Chief Todd Martin's presenting.
Good evening, Mayor Macon and members of council. Again, my name is Todd Martins, Fire Chief and the Director of Emergency Management. And today here with me is Deputy Fire Chief Quinn Gillard with Emergency Management. And today he'll be presenting to you in the Emergency Advisory Committee role.
There's an overview of our agenda, as already approved. Next. Common terms, lessons learned from last week. So things we'll probably be seeing, terms you'll also see within the municipal emergency plan packages that are attached. Next. Mandate. So mandate over the past couple of years has not changed whatsoever. So again, nothing really different in this aspect. Next change. Hazards and plans. So the Hazard Identification Risk Assessment, or the HIRA for short, is being reviewed as we speak. It's going into the next year as well, too, is one of our big projects for next year to have that updated. As it stands at this point in time, there's no updates to the HIRA. For the Municipal Emergency Plan, also there's no change. While we have had a new one commissioned, we're still reviewing it and going through the evacuation plans and everything else that's attached to that. So that will be hopefully forthcoming for approval in next year's meeting. Next. Our AAMA audit was conducted by the two field officers, John Swist and Troy Carrier, this past February, I believe it was. They came in and the audit results were actually fairly positive. We had made significant strides with the amount of training that we had done over the course of 2024. We had brought up all manner of training for the elected officials. We brought in the training for the ICS 100s and 200 levels and for functional position courses. Okay, and bringing up overall minimums from the mandatories, but we are not yet fully compliant to those levels, is what they found. They also found that we're not compliant to the number of exercises that we are mandated to do. We have to do one exercise per year for things like tabletops, but we have to do a functional exercise every 4 years. Our last large exercise was back in 2018. They were allowed us to carry forth from 2019 when we had the condo evacuation. And of course, COVID with that as well. So they've been giving us some latitude on conducting full exercises, but we are overdue for a full exercise. And I'll get into the plans for that in another couple of slides. Otherwise, the incident management team, we are still understaffed. We are doing a good job of recruiting and bringing people back into the fold, however. But that was one of their points, was that we are inadequately staffed at that point in time. We didn't have enough people to actually fill those roles. And the last piece there was the Emergency Coordination Center. At that time, it was currently located here in the bottom floor over in the computer lab. We have since relocated that temporarily over to the DCC, and we look forward to the new fire hall being built and having an ECC over there. Next slide. So an overview of what's actually happened within 2025. Modernization of emergency alerts. So we have fully removed the siren system. We have brought in the Alberta Emergency Alert for all across the board. We now have multiple people trained to operate that and use that system. We have increased substantially our amount of emergency management training. The functional exercises that we had at the tail end of the 4-day-long academy help show that we have the ability to build that regional capacity and maintain that. But the courses that we ran throughout the course of the year, supported by Alberta Emergency Management Agency and other partners in the region, certainly helped to that aspect. So both in-house capabilities for being able to deliver training, and of course the recruitment and the training of our incident management teams is going expansionally. So I look forward to next year's audit. The Regional Academy, as mentioned, again, 4 days long. It was the first Regional Academy that's been occurring since, I think, 2018 when Nate last ran theirs. And other municipalities are now looking to emulate what we have started here. So that is that's good for all across Alberta. We intend to do it again for 2026. We hosted 400 evacuees from Meadow Lake Tribal Council, in addition to the good words that we had back that came from the field officers that you talked to last week during the local authorities emergency or elected official training. There was generally good buzz that we had around the city as well too, for the most part. We had very few issues going forward. They came with what they needed to have, and it just shows the capabilities of the city to respond on short notice. So I think it was a good thing overall for us to have happen. Industrial partner exercise participation. Over the past year, I've gone out and I've worked with multiple industrial partners, Wolf, Sherritt, Dow, to work on their exercises, to get feedback to them and actually work on our communications back and forth with them. We've helped improve their plans, and they have helped improve ours. And the legacy radio replacement, that has the RFP has been awarded. We are shortly going to be signing the contract with them, and I'm told we should have all of the radios, hopefully, in Edmonton by mid-December. So we should have the programming done, hopefully within the first part of the quarter, and delivered, and everyone ready to go on that program. So thank you very much for approving that early in the year. I know that was a year ahead of schedule. Next. Goals for 2026. Thank you, Mayor, for the photograph. So goals for 2026. We look to do a complete review of the bylaw. The city's emergency management bylaw was last reviewed 2019, and there has since been small changes to the Emergency Management Act. We need to bring up to date certain wording, and we need to address certain changes within the structure of the City of Fort Saskatchewan directors. So a good example is we no longer have a separate director of recreation, a separate director of culture. They've been combined. We need to make those changes. We also want to take a look at updates to the plan itself, and of course, what's that going to look like for the evacuation plans. And for the academy that we're going to be rolling out next year, again, that's going to be running in February, and that's going to be part of a structured, progressive training plan that we have, where we're going to be running every quarter training for our IMT staff, regional partners, and then by the end of 2026, we intend to be doing tabletop exercises to get a check in a box for that. And then within 2027, we should hopefully see a full-scale exercise. Right. Are there any questions or comments, concerns?
Thank you very much. I do have a question about the role of the DEM. And so it's my understanding, so we have yourself, Chief Martins, and we have Crean Rayner, Ben Sharp. Is there another deputy in there? Another?
To your worship, there was at one point in time where we had Craig Thomas, who used to be one of our deputy directors for emergency management, and we are recently recruiting Jesse Bailey, corporate communications, to fill that role.
So one of the things that came up last week at our training, one of the things that I think you actually said was in the case of an emergency, you know, that it would be Chief Martins, except for, you know, if he was doing his role as the fire chief. And it got me thinking, well, the same can be said for Crean Rayner in her role, and the same can be said for Ben Sharp, right? And so I kind of felt like everybody except for yourself actually does have another role, right? And so is that actually maybe a flaw in our system, or it just brought up just kind of like a red flag in the back of my mind.
Yep, to the mayor. So you're correct in that I'm the DEM, and they're all deputy DEMs. So the four of us and previous five, we rotated on and on call for emergency management. However, for certain types of scenarios, you're correct. I would probably be on site at an incident, depending on the type of incident, rotating with Deputy Chief Buchanan. However, Quinn is pretty much the second to myself with the deputy role with emergency management. But any of those other roles, as far as Corrine Rayner or Ben Sharp, we have the ability. A lot of those positions are three deep in our incident management team, so we can pull if we happen to need to relieve somebody. Lots of times too, there's only one person in charge when we get into those types of scenarios. So, Ben Sharp or Creed could actually fall into their different role under the operations division.
Yeah, because my mind goes, because I intend to be the bearer of bad luck, right? And so my mind goes to Quinn's in Mexico, right? And then you have an incident where you, in fact, are having to act on scene as the fire chief. And then, kind of like how that spirals where you're like, of course, this would happen, right when these incidents, occur.
Yeah, and to the mayor. So if I had an opportunity, I would then rotate into the ECC and possibly take over at certain points, again, depending on where we were at with the incident. But we also have the ability to pull, and I think John and Troy spoke to this, we have the ability to pull within the Capital Region from the incident management team, the regional one, so that we have that capacity coming in and the expertise that we would need it as well.
Right. And so then if we had a situation just super odd where none of you guys were available, we could instantly pull in from another region and just be able to hit the ground?
Your Worship, perhaps not instantly, but the impact that we're trying to build towards is being able to resist that for a little bit. So we have enough depth on the bench that we have people that can do those roles. And then within that 24-hour cycle, the field officers should be able to cycle up another incident management team, not only from the capital region, but also from the southern region or other regions around the area that can jump in and actually fill roles. We, as part of one of the regional teams, the emails go out pretty quickly to say who's available, and there's a lot of people that are looking to gain more experience, but are also have that ability to say we're going to help our neighbors, and their employers will cut them loose. So
awesome! Thank you very much, Councillor Andawa.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you to you both for all that you do on this. The training was great last week. It was very informative. I guess more of a general question as a councillor, are we providing you both with the tools and resources you need to do what you need to do to keep us all safe, or is there anything else council can be doing?
Through the mayor to Councillor Rendell, the Fire Service Master Plan identified the challenges that we have been seeing, and I think Council's been a great support moving a lot of those recommendations forward over the last couple of years. The position that Quinn currently sits in, the funding for training, looking at the ECC and the new fire hall location, and a lot of the other heavy lifting that we've done over the last 5 or 6 years has been supported by council. So I would say yes, that we are supported.
Okay. I have a general question reflecting on our training from last week, which is, in the event of emergency, I know as a new counselor, administration only has one phone number for me. And I don't really have anything offhand of who I'm supposed to call in the event that we're supposed to be doing any sort of, emergency or anything like that. Is that how it's supposed to be? It's kind of an open-ended question and kind of a random question, but from that training I understood I do run away from fire, which is what my instinct was. But beyond that, I only have one cell phone number and an email account. Well, Troy, just keep calling me until I pick up. I wonder. Yeah.
Through your two Councillor Ronda, we'll come get you.
Okay, great.
Let's think about it.
I'm feeling
in
safe.
2019, we had a hard time getting a hold of one of the IMT members, Wendy Kinsella. We tried her phone number, we tried texting, we tried emailing. We eventually sent the RCMP to her house in Sherwood Park to go collect her and bring her back.
Okay.
And make no mistake about it, we will we'll look to not only take care of you, but also to get you where we need to be, right? So your first call that you make should be to family, say, stay safe, do these things so you can put your mind at ease and you're mentally present when we need you, where we need you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Councillor Nguyen.
I'll make the motion if
Oh, perfect.
anyone else.
Yes, go for it. I like it.
we're ready.
Go ahead.
So I'll move that that the Emergency Advisory Committee approve the City of Fort Saskatchewan Municipal Emergency Plan as attached as Appendix B to the request for decision dated December 9th, 2025.
Thank you very much. I'll accept the motion. Do you wish to speak to it?
Quick quiz, because I just learned about earthquakes in Alberta. How many have there been since 2005? This is unreal. I've never thought of Alberta as an earthquake-prone area, but apparently 4.6 is a thing that happened and caused some damage there near Red Deer. But yeah, they occur quite frequently.
Moment of magnitude or Richter?
Sorry?
Moment of magnitude or Richter scale?
That was a moment of magnitude, okay. I believe. I have to cross-reference. But no, I do appreciate all the information that was brought forward and the wholesome discussion that we had as council, and it certainly makes me feel more prepared. It's not something that I dwell on every single day, but I know that the experts in your field have a good plan and adequate team that is staffed with the right equipment to tackle an incident should it occur, should and when it does occur. And remember a flood when I was 4 years old, and remember the 1987 hoopla around the tornado and things like that, and they do occur. So it's good to see the level of preparedness that the City of Fort Saskatchewan has, and I just commend your team for the work in this area. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm not seeing anybody else weighing in. Do you wish to close?
Yeah, I'll be good.
I'll close the motion. Please cast your vote. You know, I think this is going to pass. And that is carried. With that, I will adjourn the Emergency Advisory Committee at 6:32. Are we going back onto a video feed to go in camera? No. Okay. Okay. So I will reopen the regular council meeting at 6:32. Is there any notice of motions? Not seeing any. Any points of interest? Everyone's ready for Christmas break already. Councillor inquiries. I sent mine all this morning. Okay, Councillor Wesley.
Yeah, reading through all this planning documents, and I can see why Janelle has developed her love of planning. So I wondered if I could get maybe information regarding suitability and potential impact and how that was determined. We were discussing that a little bit earlier in what seems to be a long, long time ago. And just how it is determined and when do we think it's an impact of concern or just any information or guidance as to how you look at those things.
That was on the traffic safety, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Thank you.
Councillor Randawa.
Yeah. Just reflecting on the meeting today, I know administration has some insight into what we expect to see in future council meetings. As a member of council, it'd be kind of interesting if we could also have some, I don't know, insight into what we expect 2, 3, 4 meetings down the road. I know you won't have a full agenda to provide all of us, but to be effective in our role, that'd be interesting.
We send the upcoming agenda document around to council, do
No,
we
it
not?
just
or
goes.
did we stop?
Does it? I think it just goes to me and the deputy mayor.
I don't get it.
Oh, okay.
I never got it.
We
as a
were doing
councillor.
that last term. We still do it. So we've been sending you, are we sure we've been doing it? We'll check.
Okay.
But regardless, there's a document that we do send around once a week. We use it for the agenda review meeting that happens on Monday afternoons for the mayor and the deputy mayor, but the rest of council has access to it. And it usually has about the next 4 council meetings draft agendas on them. And then so you could look like 2 months in advance and kind of know what's happening on what meeting. It does change a lot, but
Okay.
yeah.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you very much. Not seeing anybody else. I'll take a motion to move into closed session. Counselor Ketcher?
I'll make a motion that we go in camera as per the Access to Information Act.
Thank
Got
you
it
very
right?
much. We'll close the motion. Please cast your vote.
We'll have to vote
Oh.
by card.
What card, because we're not back in the other one. Yeah.
Thank you.
And that is carried. We will move in camera.